Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NBA playoff games, look ahead to tonight's games. We'll look back on yesterday's NHL and Major League Baseball games, look ahead to tonight's game in each sport. We will do some golf talk with the Zurich Classic coming up. The Masked Singer and Survivor tonight. We'll recap last week's episodes of those shows, look ahead to tonight for both. News and notes and best bet. All right, we'll start the NBA playoffs. We will recap yesterday's couple games and look ahead to some big ones for tonight. Heat over the Hawks, 115-105 to take a 2-0 series lead. Jimmy Butler had 45 points and 5 assists. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 29 for Atlanta. Grizzlies over the Timberwolves, 124-96 to even up the series at one apiece. Great bounce back win for Memphis. John Moran had 23 points, 9 boards, and 10 assists, and he was walking around on a bad calf, it looked like. Hopefully he'll be okay. And then Anthony Edwards had 20 for Minnesota. And the shocker, Pelicans over the Suns, 125-114 to even up the series at one apiece. Brandon Ingram, 37 points and 9 assists. And Devin Booker had 31 points, but he had to leave the game due to a hamstring injury. Hopefully he'll be okay, because that would be a tremendous loss for Phoenix if they lose him for a couple of games here. All right, tonight we have 3 games, 7:30 or 7 o'clock on TNT. Nats Celtics, big one from TD Garden. Projection, Boston by 4 3/4, total 220.7. It looks like no Robert Williams still and no Ben Simmons. It's 3.5 and 226. I love the under. I think there's going to be a lot of defense played in this game, more than you may think. So give me the under. I love it. 8 o'clock NBA TV, 76ers Raptors. With Scotty Barnes, I project Raptors by a half. And without Scotty Barnes, I project Sixers by 2. My projection total is 217.1. It is Philly by 2, total 217. Last hurrah for the Raptors. I'm taking them getting the 2 and the plus 112 on the money line. This is it. I think they'll show up and play inspired at home. So give me the Raptors. And I would love it even more if Scotty Barnes played. 9:30 TNT Bulls Bucks. My projection is Milwaukee by 7.5, total 225 and 1/20th, and it's 10 and 225. I'm taking the Bulls. Now the Bulls showed signs of life in that game the other night. I'm not saying they're gonna win the game. No way. I still think this is likely a sweep, but I think they may hang around in this spot. So give me the Bulls getting the 10 tonight in Milwaukee, as I believe it will be a single-digit game. All right, we'll move on to hockey now. We'll recap last night's games. Look ahead to a smaller window for tonight. Maple Leafs over the Flyers 5-2. Wild over the Habs 2-0. Red Wings over the Lightning 4-3. Rangers over the Jets 3-0. Panthers over the Islanders 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Alexander Barkov. Bruins over the Blues 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Charlie McAvoy. Preds over the Flames 3-2 in a shootout. Kings over the Ducks 2-1. Sens over the Canucks 4-3 in a shootout. And the Sharks over the Blue Jackets 3-2. 4 games tonight. 8:30 on NHL Network. You have the Stars and the Oilers, so no TNT tonight for hockey because of the NBA playoffs. So that would make sense. Edmonton's minus 164. Dallas is plus 136. Over under 6. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Dallas plus 1.5 is minus 178. Edmonton minus 1.5 is plus 146. Big game for Dallas. They need to drift away from Vancouver and Vegas. Vancouver's 4 back of Dallas, 5 back of the Kings. And Dallas has got to win this game. I think they're going to do it. I'm going to take Dallas plus 136. Edmonton's pretty much locked into the 2 seed. Actually, no, they're not. They're 2 back of Edmonton. So this is a big spot for Edmonton, too. But I kind of like Dallas. But realistically, I'm actually going to go with the draw at plus 340. I think this is an overtime game. 10 o'clock, Blackhawks Coyotes, terrible game. Chicago minus 156, Arizona plus 130, over under 6.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Blackhawks minus 1.5 is plus 155, Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 188. I'm going with the over. I just think that this game is going to be higher scoring than people may think. Capitals Golden Knights, Stanley Cup final rematch from 4 years ago. Vegas minus 137, Washington plus 114, over under 6.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 220, Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 180. Vegas' season's on the line here. They got to win this game, and then they'll be within 2 of Dallas and 3 of the Kings. So they got to win this game. I think they will. Absolutely think they will. Now I'm going to say they win in regulation at plus 115. And Washington needs the game too because they're only 1 back of Pittsburgh. So many implications with all these games, with a lot of these games, I should say. And then the last one's Avs Kraken. The Avs are minus 320, the Kraken plus 255, over under 6.5, overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Avs minus 1.5 is minus 134, Kraken plus 1.5 is plus 112. I think the Kraken are going to hang around in this game. I really do. But I like the under better because I don't love the Kraken's offense. So I like under 6.5 plus 114. I'm saying the Avs win like 3-1 or something like that. Just the gut feeling I have. All right, now move on to Major League Baseball. We will recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to today's slate of games. Nats over the D-backs 6-1 in Game 1. Mets over the Giants 5-4 and 10 in Game 1. Yanks over the Tigers 4-2. Cards over the Marlins 5-1. D-backs over the Nats 1-0 in Game 2. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 2-1. Mets over the Giants 3-1 in Game 2. Brewers over the Pirates 5-2. Rays over the Cubs 6-5. Angels over the Astros 7-2. Royals over the Twins 4-3. Rocks over the Phils 6-5. A's over the Orioles 2-1. Padres over the Reds 6-2. Mariners over the Rangers 6-2. And the Braves over the Dodgers 3-1. White Sox Guardians postponed due to inclement weather. Makeup date today, April 20th. All right, today's game is 1:30 of the Pirates and the Brewers. Mitch Keller and Brandon Woodruff. Both guys off the slow starts this year. Milwaukee's minus 255. Pirates plus 205. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is plus 102. Brewers minus 1.5 is minus 122. I like the over a lot. I think that the Brewers can tee off of Mitch Keller a little bit. Here's I like the over. 2 o'clock, Game 1, White Sox Guardians. Dallas Keuchel, Shane Bieber. Guardians minus 142. White Sox plus 120. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 188. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 155. I like the under. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. 3 o'clock, Braves Dodgers. Charlie Morton and Tony Gonsolin. Dodgers minus 130, Braves plus 110, over under 9, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Braves plus 1.5 is minus 92. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 158. I want to take the Braves here, but I just can't see a world where the Dodgers lose back-to-back games. So instead, I'm going to go Braves first half result plus 135. Phil's Rockies. Zach Eflin and Herman Marquez. Rocks minus 102, Phil's minus 115, over under 10.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Phil's minus 1.5 is plus 140, Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 170. The Rockies very quietly have won back-to-back games, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. The Rockies are 8-3. I'm taking them at home, -102 against the Phillies. 4 o'clock, Reds Padres. Vladimir Gutierrez and Mackenzie Gore. Padres -205, Reds +172, over under 8.5, overs -108, unders -112. Reds +1.5 is -128, Padres -1.5 is +106. I'm going to go with the over. I think Gutierrez is somebody that I think the Padres could take advantage of and tee off a little bit. And I think Mackenzie Gore might see some struggles too, so I like the over in that game a lot. 6 o'clock, Orioles Athletics. Jordan Lyles and Dalton Jeffries. A's -134, Orioles +114, over under 8, overs -108, unders -112. Orioles +1.5 is -200, A's -1.5 is +164. I'm going to go with the over. Don't feel great about it, but I like the over. White Sox Guardians. Jimmy Lambert and Tristan McKenzie. Guardians -124. White Sox +106. Over under 8. Overs -120. Unders -102. White Sox +1.5 is -200. Guardians -1.5 is +164. I'm gonna go Guardians first half result -105 in that one. 6:30, Angels Astros. Shohei Ohtani and Jake Odorizzi. Angels -142, Astros +120, over under 8.5, -110 each way. Angels -1.5 is +126, Astros +1.5 is -152. The Astros offense has got to get going. I think the Angel offense could tee off of Odorizzi a little bit, so I like over 8.5, -110. Yankees Tigers. Luis Severino and Eduardo Rodriguez. Yanks -174, Tigers +146, over under 7.5, overs -105, unders -115. Yanks -1.5 is +106, Tigers +1.5 is -128. The Yankees know Eduardo Rodriguez from his days in Boston. And I think that some guys in this lineup have had success with him in the past, like Giancarlo Stanton. So I'm going to go over 7.5 at -105. I don't know if the Yankees will win again today, but that'll be their first time since the first 2 games of the year where they'd win back-to-back games. So I'm going to go over 7.5 -105 for that one. Cardinals Marlins. Miles Mikolas and Sandy Alcantara. That's a good one. Marlins -144, Cardinals +122, over under 7.5. Overs -115, unders -105. Cards +1.5 is -184. Marlins -1.5 is +155. For this one, I'm going to go Miami first half result, even money. 7 o'clock, D-backs Nats. Merrill Kelly and Eric Feed. Nats -134, D-backs +114, over under 8.5, overs -104, unders -118. D-backs +1.5 is -200, Nats -1.5 is +164. I'm going with the over. Giants Mets. Mets going for the sweep. Carlos Rodon, Chris Bassett. Giants -126, Mets +108, over under 6.5, overs -115, unders -105. Giants -1.5 is +146, Mets +1.5 is -176. Wrong team favored here. The Mets are playing great. I'm going to take them here at +108 to sweep the Giants. I also like the over, but I'm going to go with the Mets. Blue Jays Red Sox. Jose Barrios and Nick Pivetta. Blue Jays -134, Red Sox +114, over under 9.5. Overs -104, unders -118. Jays -1.5 is +128. Red Sox +1.5 is -154. I'm going to go Blue Jays first half result at even money. 7:30, Rays Cubs. Drew Rasmussen and Marcus Stroman. Rays -112, Cubs -104, over under 9, overs -115, unders -105. Rays -1.5 is +152, Cubs +1.5 is -184. I'm going Rays money line -112. 8 o'clock, Twins Royals. Chris Paddock and Daniel Lynch. Twins minus 126, Royals plus 108, over under 9, overs even money, unders minus 122. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 134, Royals plus 1.5 is minus 162. Tough one. I'm going to go with the over at even money. I think that's a good call. And last but not least, 9:30, Rangers Mariners, Dean Dunning and Logan Gilbert. Mariners minus 156, Rangers plus 132, over under 8, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 76. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 146. First half results been my favorite play so far, and I'm going to go Seattle first half result at minus 110 for my pick here. All right, now move on to golf. Today starts the Zurich Classic. I'm going to go over like the tee times and whatnot. Or wait, no, my bad. If I find the tee times, that would be nice. But I'll go over the odds and who's in it and all that jazz. Here we go. Here's the tee times. So 7 o'clock a.m., Tom Hogue and Paul Barjan and Martin Laird and Robert McIntyre. They're on tee number 1. Tee number 10, Chad Ramey and Joshua Creel, Martin Trainer, and Jim Nose. 7:13, T1, Bo Van Pelt and Ben Martin, Austin Cook and Jason Duffner. T10, Aaron Ray and David Lipsky, and Trey Mullinax and Wesley Bryan. 7:26, tee number 1, Danny Lee Sang Mumbai and Sang Yul No and Michael Kim. Tee number 10, Bill Haas and Jay Haas, and Nick Watney and Charlie Hoffman. 7:39, T1, Kevin Kisner, Scott Brown, Keith Mitchell, Brent Snecker. And T10, Cam Smith and Mark Leishman, Victor Hovland and Colin Moriqua. 7:52, Lucas Glover and Chester V, Gary Kigo, and Brandon Grace. T10, Tyrell Hatton, Danny Willett, Sergio Garcia, and Tommy Fleetwood. 8:05, T1, Sung Kang and John Huh, Robert Streb and Troy Merritt. Tee number 10, Shane Lowry, Ian Poulter, Taylor Gooch, and Max Homa. 8:18, tee number 1, Tommy Gainey, Robert Garrigus, Scott Piercy, Sean O'Hare. T10, Richie Wierenski, Peter Oline, Kevin Twain, Kelly Kraft. 8:31, tee number 1, Denny McCarthy and Ben Knowles, Hank Labodia, and Chase Seifert. Tee number 10, Brendan Hagee, Cam Piercy, Doc Redmond, Sam Ryder. 8:44, Matt Neesmith, Taylor Moore, Adam Hadwin, Adam Svensson. Tee number 10, Z Thiglia, B.U. Hostler, and Will Zalatoris and Davis Riley. 8:57, tee number 1, Davey Vanderwalt and Brett Druitt, Michael Gillick and Ryan O'Moore. Tee number 10, Callum Tarrant and David Skins, and Justin Lauer and Dylan Wu. 12:05, tee number 1, Seb Straka, Grayson Sigg, Adam Long, Bo Hogg. Tee number 10, Matt Wallace and Sam Horsfield, Alex Ryan and Henrik Norlander. 12:18, tee number 1, Tyson Hadley and Jonathan Bird, Bryce Garnett, Scott Scollings. Tee number 10, Jason Day and Jason Scribner, and Joel Donovan and Stefan Jaeger. 12:31, tee number 1, Charles Schwartzel and Kristen Ziedenhout, and Emiliano Grillo and Rafa Carrera Bayo. Tee number 10, Brian Stewart and Russell Knox, and Keegan Bradley and Brendan Steele. 12:44, Patrick Cantley, Alexander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, Ryan Palmer. Tee number 10, Jim Herman and Vaughn Taylor, and Lucas Herbert and Arjun Atwal. 12:57, tee number 1, Sam Burns, Billy Horschel, Bubba Watson, Harold Varner III. T10, JT Potson and Patton Kazir, and Seamus Power and Gray McDowell. 110, tee number 1, Joaquin Neiman, Mito Pereira, Justin Rose, Henrik Stenson. Tee number 10, Sanjay M. Bayang-Hun, Brendan Todd, and Chris Kirk. 123, tee number 1, James Hahn and Kevin Chappell, Kyle Stanley, Camilo Vegas. Tee number 10, Tyler Duncan, Adam Schenk, and Ryan Brem and Mark Hubbard. 136, T1, Doug Gibb, Matthias Schwab, Henry Higgs, Austin Smotherman. Team number 10, Cam Triangle, Wyndham Clark, Matt McNeely, and Joseph Brumlett. 149, team number 1, Lee Hodges, Vincent Whaley, Alex Molly, Hayden Buckley. T10, Scott Gachowski and D.A. Points. And Patrick Rogers and Brandon Wu. And last but not least, 202, team number 1, Seth Rees and Jared Wolf, and Curtis Thompson and Nick Carty. And team number 10, Kurt Katayama and Kidrek Abermont, and Max McGreevy and Andrew Novak. All right, for a pick for this tournament, I'm going to go with this is a tough one. I like how everybody's matched up for this. And I'm going to go with the different one. I'm going to go 17-1. Tommy Fleetwood and Sergio Garcia. Different duo, but I like it a lot. I think that they have potential to win this. I know everyone and their brother thinks it's going to be Cantlay and Schauffele, but I really think that it could very well be Fleetwood and Garcia 17-1. So that's going to be my pick for the Zurich Classic. All right, now move on to the Masked Singer. We didn't have time to recap the episode from last week, so we're going to do that really quick, and then we're going to talk about round 3, which is Group C. Last week was the round 2 finale, which consisted of Miss Teddy, Armadillo, and Ringmaster. Leslie Jordan joined the panel. First up was Miss Teddy. There's a lot of clues here. There's a picture rainbow. She said she had a big audition with Eddie Murphy. Hints about the Supremes. There is a new Teddy in town with the sign with mountains. She said she's been around for decades. There's a first place ribbon. And she performed Mercy by Duffy. Judges' guesses, Ken said Yolanda Adams. Leslie said Cindy Birdstrong and Mavis Staples. And Jenny said Gloria Gaynor. Armadillo. Hints about being in jail. He was a roadkill. There was a bed in there. He said he got advice. There was a fugitive red bus. There was a Texas flag. And Armadillo had his best performance. He performed Amazing Grace. It was absolutely beautiful. Jenny said Dog Bounty Hunter. Leslie said Tommy Lee Jones. And Ken said Al Pacino, which was ridiculous. And Ringmaster went last. There's a book with the laughing emoji with the tears. There's a NASA chalkboard. There's popcorn. There's a welcome to Nashville sign. There are balls. There's a B-. There's an elf with a line across it. And then there's an A++. There are a couple grades. Maybe this person was a teacher or pursued teaching. And she performed If I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton. And it was outstanding. I'm sticking with my guess of Emily Osmond, but I don't feel really strong about it because of this clue package we got last week. But there's hints about Hannah Montana and a connection to Miley Cyrus and being from California, which she's from. So I'm going to stick with my gut on that one based on the first clue package, but I don't feel good about it. Robin said Sarah Hyland. Leslie said Noah Cyrus and Casey Musgraves. And Nicole said Maren Morris. And the final showdown between the 3 contestants was One Way or Another by Blondie. And who's finale bound? Ringmaster. She'll join Firefly in the finale in about a month from now. So Obviously, round 3 is going to be this week, next week, the following week. I think the finale is going to be May 18th. May 11th, they'll probably have like a road to the finale episode, which would be irrelevant, but from a viewing standpoint, relevant for the diehards, but irrelevant for like potential unmaskings and whatnot. So we'll know in a month who everybody is. And who went home first? Armadillo. My first impression guess was Adam Sandler, based on his personality. But my final guess, because of his singing voice, and I was getting flashbacks and whatnot to some of his songs that he sings so beautifully. I thought this could have been Willie Nelson throwing us off. So I had a ridiculous guess of him. Leslie Jordan said Gary Busey. Nicole said Dog the Bounty Hunter, as did Jenny. Robin said Steve Cole Dawson. Ken said Al Pacino. And who was it? Gus Chapman, a.k.a. the Dog Bounty Hunter. So Nicole and Jenny were right. I give Jenny more credit for that one because she mentioned him first, and then Nicole kind of just piggybacked on it from the clue standpoint. So Dog the Bounty Hunter, good get for the show. He's somebody that is a reality star. And now he was on The Masked Singer, so that was a decent get for The Masked Singer. And it makes sense for him being in jail, in that clue. And who went home second? Miss Teddy. Miss Teddy was a good contestant. She was. But she was inferior to Ringmaster, who I think is the best one this season, who is the front runner to win. My first impression guess was Gloria Gaynor, and that was my final guess too. There are so many hints, being around for decades, and her vocals sounded like Gloria, and I was getting like I Will Survive vibes. Kent's final guess was Yolanda Adams. Jenny also said Gloria Gaynor. Robin said Karen Clark. Nicole and Leslie threw out the last-minute curveball of Jennifer Holliday. And it was indeed Jennifer Holliday. They were right. Jennifer Holliday is somebody that was in Broadway. She's been around a long time. She was in Dreamgirls. Really good singer. And I think she did a great job on the show. So, cool to see Jennifer Holliday on. All right. And tonight, we see the last group. So, we're going to see Prince tonight from Team Good. There was a clue of 30 in blue and a white varsity jacket in the super sneak peek. From Team Bad, we'll see Queen Cobra. I think that I could picture that contestant being good. And her first clue of the sneak peek episode was a superhero photo. And then from Team Cuddly, we'll see Space Bunny, and his first clue was a flag with North Carolina on it. And then Baby Mammoth we'll see too, and their first clue was red slippers. And then there's going to be one more contestant in there from one of the groups. It will probably be the Jack in the Box thing that we've seen in the commercials and for when the teams go up and celebrate and whatnot. And I believe that Jack in the Box will be from Team Bad. Or maybe, no, it might be from it's either from Team Bad or Team Good. I think it's like a Jack in the Box kind of a character. So this might be a multiples. So that's really intriguing from a show standpoint. We love the multiples. Because the more the merrier, we say, right? So it should be a fun group of characters. And we'll obviously talk about the show on the podcast tomorrow. Alrighty, so Survivor's also on tonight. And I think it's going to be a very interesting episode. They had the merged tribe last week that was unveiled. There's technically 2 episodes. And the second of the 2 had Tribal Council. So, the first of the 2, they were divided into 2 teams by random draw. And the team members raced to this large boulder thing before going around of obstacles, and they were standing on it to grab keys, which they used to later on to unlock puzzle pieces and assemble a 75-piece Survivor 42 logo puzzle. And then the first team to complete the prize won immunity at next Tribal Council. And the new merged tribe was rewarded an Applebee's Feast reward. And the 2 team members that drew the odd rocks were Lindsay and Roxroy. And the team of Hy, Jonathan, Marianne, Lydia, and Tori won the reward. And they selected Lindsay to join them. And then Chanel, Drea, Mike, Omar, and Romero were left at Vadi's Beach while the winning team was enjoying Applebee's. And then Roxroy went by himself to another island, and he was offered a big challenge by Jeff Probst, who visited him on the island. And he was offered to either leave things as is or smash a hourglass to reverse the outcome of the previous challenge, giving himself and the losing team immunity. And then he chose to smash the hourglass and said that he felt bad for the ones who didn't eat Applebee's. And then the individual immunity challenge, as the non-immune castaways held a rope to balance a wobbly table while stacking blocks spelling the word immunity. And if any blocks fell, the person would have to restack them. And the first to correctly stack all 8 blocks and stand on the starting platform won individual immunity. And then the remaining 5 non-immune castaways would be vulnerable at the last pre-merged Tribal Council. And Tori won individual immunity. And then they go to tribal council. And it was a runaway of who was voted off. Lydia. Which I'm not surprised. They tried to vote off Lydia several weeks ago, but it was failed. And Drea, Hi, Jonathan, Lindsay, Marianne, Mike, and Omar didn't have a vote. Because at the decision that Omar and Chanel attended together in episode 3, both chose to risk their vote and both lost their vote. And Chanel, obviously, that came back to bite her in another episode, but it really didn't bite her, but she wasn't voted off yet. So Omar didn't have a vote. Lindsay was Roxroy's vote. Chanel voted for Jonathan, as did Tori. And Romero and Lydia voted Marianne. So tonight's episode is going to be really interesting. It's a merged tribe now with Chanel, Drea, Hi, Jonathan, Lindsay, Marianne, Mike, Omar, Roxroy, Romero, and Tori. I think they're going to try their butts off to get Chanel off. Nobody seems to be the biggest fan of Chanel. Survivor is a bunch of liars, as we know. And nobody really trusts each other all that much. And they tried to vote Chanel off 2 of the last 3 episodes. So I'm going to predict that Chanel is the one that gets voted off in tribal council on tonight's episode, not knowing what goes on. All right, now we're going to do news and notes really quickly. Devin Booker missed the rest of Game 2 last night due to a hamstring injury. That is what New Orleans took advantage of to win game number 2. And if he's out for a few more games, that is really crazy. And New Orleans is to start believing. Maybe they're the new We Believe team. But the Suns really need Booker back if they want to win the title. And they can still win the series without Booker, but it's going to be difficult for them because of how well CJ McCollum's playing. There's optimism that Luka Doncic could return from his calf strain in either Game 3 or Game 4. That would be amazing for Dallas. And that would get them the upper leg in the series, even though it's 1-1 right now, and they won without him the other night because the role players stepped up. So, we'll see. Yankees manager Aaron Boone is not worried about Garrett Cole's slow start. He says he really believes he's poised for a big year. Weird start to the year for Garrett Cole. Opening day, gives up a couple homers to Boston. And had the rough first inning. And then the start before that, he gave up all those homers to Vlad Guerrero Jr., which one of them, Aaron Hicks, couldn't catch the ball. So, and then last night, he walked 4 guys in an inning. So, very weird. I think he's going to turn it around, but fast forward a month from now and things aren't turned around, then I'll be concerned. Yesterday was the Islanders' first home game since the passing of Mike Bossy, and the home crowd gave out a Bossy chant for him, which was really nice. Jarvis Landry to visit the New Orleans Saints. I think that would be a really interesting pair right there. Deebo Samuel Holtz deal with the 49ers. San Fran's ready to sign him, but Samuel has put it to a halt to everything for right now. Kyle Freeland signs a 5-year, $64.5 million extension with the Rockies that includes a 6-year player option. So, good on the Rockies for keeping an asset signed long-term. Indiana Pacers expected to pursue Jalen Brunson in free agency. That would be weird. Him and Tyrese Halliburton together. Ben Simmons cleared for contact as he did 4-on-4 work yesterday. 2 days ago. And made rumors of a potential return. So we'll see. Manchester United and Liverpool fans united after the death of Ronaldo's baby son, which was really moving. And we talked about it a little bit on yesterday's show. That's just a sad tragedy. There are some rumors that Major League Baseball could be expanding to Nashville, as former All-Star David Stewart leads a group bidding for a Nashville club that would be the first minority-owned MLB team, which would be really cool. And Nashville deserves a team. They have the Predators. They have the Titans. They don't have a basketball team, so I guess they were for the Grizzlies. And they don't have a baseball team, so that would be really cool to see baseball in Nashville. And obviously they have the college teams as well. Non-sports news, New Jersey will begin weed legal sales on Thursday. We'll see how that goes. New York City Rep. Carolyn Maloney tests positive for COVID. And she says, maybe I'll use the time to read some banned books. So hopefully Maloney's asymptomatic. She'll be okay. And then Britney Spears got ticketed after driving at an unsafe speed. So we talked about her last week and now she's pregnant. And she's very open on social media about her life. But yeah, unsafe speed. What's that, like 100 miles an hour? Yeah, we're just thankful she didn't get into an accident or anything like that. All right, last but not least, best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Some interesting ones. Obviously, yesterday's was a winner. Took a while, but the Mariners went over the number at the end of the game, as it was a 6-2 final. But for today, I really like over 9 in Twins Royals. But part of me hesitates a little bit. So I'm undecided if I want to go there or I want to go Miami Marlins first half result for best bet. I like the Marlins a lot. I'm going to go with them in the first half result. Even money. Miami Marlins first half result. I'm going to try this out for best bet. We'll see how it goes. All right, so that's it for today's show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything going on and looking ahead to tomorrow. Maybe we'll have an early leaderboard for golf. So we'll do that. We'll recap The Masked Singer. And if we have time, we'll recap Survivor as well. NFL mock draft tomorrow again, with a week to go until the draft, being from a week from tomorrow. And obviously news and notes and best bet as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.